The Babadook premiered in 2014. It is an Australian psychological horror film written and directed by Jennifer Kent and produced by Christina Caton and Kristen Mollier. The film is based on the 2005 film Monster. The stars of the film include Essie Davis, Noah Wiseman, and Daniel Henshaw. Key values of Australia include compassion, care, and strength shown through the millions of families amongst the country. These values are what makes up the bonds between individuals and families, uniting them and the country as one. Through the Babadook, however, these values are not present right off the bat, but instead come to form by the end of the movie. Throughout the movie, we see this relationship between Amelia and Sam is not that of a typical Australian family. Amelia, while bottling up the emotion she feels towards the death of her husband, has separated herself from her son Sam. She doesn't love him at all, which is illustrated through one scene of them sharing a bed, yet being as far apart as possible. This is because Samuel is a reminder of the death of her husband. We see this unloving relationship through the majority of the movie, with Amelia at one point saying that she wished it was Samuel that had died in the accident. This un-Australian harsh relationship is flipped upside by the end of the movie. After confronting her emotions in turn, the Babadook, Amelia, and Samuel take on the values of that are prominent in Australian families. They show love and compassion, seen by the big smiles on their faces as they sit close to each other at Samuel's birthday party, which until then Amelia had been refusing to partake in. Amelia accepts her child for the strange, eccentric boy that he is, unifying the family as one with love and compassion just like that of a traditional Australian family. The film utilizes terrifying conventions, such as the use of sound effects, jump scare shots, and a narrative that enforces the sense of fear. It is therefore obvious that the Babadook film falls within the genre of horror. The audience are aware of this, as these conventions are stereotypical denotations of horror. The Babadook has a target audience of older adolescents and young adults, and it is this age group who are most likely to enjoy the thrills and watch this type of film in groups, as opposed to individually. The film is not targeted towards children, as it would scare them in a way that affects them much more intensely, as they may believe the film is real and a present reality. Young adults, however, are fully aware that the film is not a reality yet, and are still able to thoroughly enjoy the experience of watching a horror film. Other movies released in the same year of The Babadook, potentially having the same target audience, include See No Evil, Paranormal Activity: The Marked Ones, and Clown. The Babadook was nominated and won numerous awards, including Empire Award for Best Horror, the AACTA Award for Best Film, the AACTA Award for Best Direction, and many more. The genre of horror is implemented in films designed to elicit fear, arouse a sense of unease, to evoke panic and alarm, and even dread for the audience for entertainment purposes. They are immensely intense, supplying rushes of adrenaline to audiences by conveying intense emotion, mood, tone, and environments. Together they emit the sense that everything is charged with ominous possibility. Horror films are often unsettling and rely on scaring the audience through a representation of their worst fears and nightmares, and through the use of codes and conventions. In particular, the Babadook utilizes the use of creepy background music and sound effects designed to make you jump. For example, in this scene, it begins the scene with merely no sound, apart from a creepy, creaking opening door. As the scene progresses and more of the Babadook is revealed, there's terrifying sounds, which are very eerie, making it seem like something is about to happen. And the music theme associated with the Babadook is played, which symbolizes that he is there, making it even more scarier, as it is played every time he appears, but also played to further emphasize that something bad is about to happen. The sharp screaming from actor Essie Davis and dramatic sound effects are utilized throughout the film when scary, dangerous events and moments occur, which reinforces the feeling of fear. Through the incorporation and utilization of still silence, followed by a sudden flash across the screen, being zoom up into Essie Davis's face, completely breaking the silence, with the use of also the harsh, abrupt sounds presented by the Babadook and the extremely intense and creepy music playing, it creates a jump scare, terrifying the audience and keeping them on edge in the entire process. Another convention arrayed in this scene to elicit fear is the strategic use of camera shots to help build tension. The utilizations of multiple extreme close-up shots on actress Essie Davis is to emphasize the facial expression of the victim, to truly display the emotion in her face. The shots are essential in horror as it displays to the audience a sense of fear and desperation in the character, which may not be visible from a further distance. It creates a sense of unease and discomfort among the audience as the scene progresses and builds suspense of what is going to occur to the character. This is demonstrated when the camera zooms up on Essie Davis, fully catching the emotion on her face, following her beneath the bed sheets, still showing how petrified she is, and the utilization of the sudden reveal of the Babadook and the fast zoom into her face, paired up with the creepy background music and sound, engages the audience and truly appeals to the sense of fear. The purpose of the media production process is to reflect the need of those viewing or seeing the product. Factors include audience engagement, consumption, reception, time restraints, budget and skills are all central to the media production process. The process is identified in different stages, which provide framework for media production. The stages in the media production include development, pre-production, production, post-production, and distribution. During the media production process, certain specialist roles are required at each stage. For example, in duration, producers, writers, and a small group of creatives and executives are required. There were many key roles in the production process of The Babadook. This includes the director, Jennifer Kent, the multiple producers, including Christina Caton and Christine Mollier, the cinematographer, Radek Ladkuzik, the editor, Nikki Barrett, and also the screenwriter. The iconic, terrifying monster, the Babadook, has deeper meaning and symbolization in Jennifer Kent's 2014 film than many may think. Underneath the surface, the Babadook is seen as a chaotic monster haunting a mother and her son. However, the Babadook is actually represented as a LGBTQ icon. In the film, there is a scene which has the phrase, "If it's in a word or it's in a look, you can't get rid of the Babadook." This represents and emphasizes how many LGBTQ people feel being alone in society. It represents how LGBTQ is looked as the deep, dark part of society that no one wants to talk about, but is still very present, just like the Babadook. The Babadook was even used as a symbol of equality and was symbolized during a Pride Month. The use of the Babadook as an LGBTQ figure and a social and cultural factor of equality influences those who believe in equal rights, and particularly those who are of LGBTQ, as they may watch it and later emphasize in the media that they feel as the Babadook does, never being talked about and seen as a burden in society. The classification of the Babadook is an N film, M film, as it contains horror themes, violence, sexual references, and coarse language.